Okay, so welcome to our online environment we are now in. We're going to start talking about what to expect for this next chapter, chapter 4. So, with chapter 4, the title is Applications of Differentiation. So, as you can tell, this our last chapter, chapter 3, those sort of methods for what to do to find the derivative are going to play a very pivotal role in this chapter. The So there are some smaller topics in this chapter. To name a few, mean value theorem in 4.2 and L'Hopital's rule in 4.4 and optimization later on in 4.7. However, the sections 4.1, 4.3, 4, and 4.5, instead of following these smaller topics, follow the general push of this chapter, which is what is known as curve sketching. So if I take away your calculator and give you a really weird function to sketch the curve of, like say f of x equals square root of natural log of x over x squared plus 1, if you had something like that, can you give me a graph? And that's going to use a lot of different concepts we had from just algebra when you're looking at domain and intercepts and stuff like that, to asymptotes from chapter 2 and on to what we're going to talk about in 4.1 and 4.3, namely maximum and minimum values and how that relates to the derivative. So that's where we're sort of building to, is to be able to just take a function and graph it with a curve. And then what we're going to end this chapter on is going to be also further building into the discussion of, well, when you have something like addition, you can talk about how do you undo addition. So if I have x plus 5 equals 3, you undo that by subtracting. And you get that x is equal to negative 2. Similarly, with multiplication, you have division. So the question that people ask that we're going to talk about is, if I have a derivative of a function, is there a way of sort of going backwards where if I just call this d over dx inverse f of x, the discussion is going to be, can we think of ways that we could somehow reverse that direction? And that's going to start at the end of this chapter and carry on into the next chapter a little bit. So thank you for listening in and bearing with us during this time.